What's up gamers? My name's Thomas and I've been working on a MOBA slash third person shooter for a little over a year now, and I thought I'd update you all on the progress that I've been making. So to get you up to speed, I'm making a MOBA crossed with a third person shooter, so it's going to have the strategy of a MOBA game mixed with the gameplay of a third person shooter. So what does that look like? Basically, you'll have 5v5 teams, 3 lanes, just like a normal MOBA. You'll be pushing, you'll be killing your enemies, you'll be upgrading your gear, getting better abilities, and the idea will be that once a team pushes into the base and kills whatever objective there is to kill in there, you'll win. What have I been doing over the last year? I'm going to take you back about 5 months where I've really been making some good progress on some animations, some gunplay, a bit of a gameplay loop with respawning, killing enemies. There's only a couple of guns in there, a few basic props in the level, but in terms of the gameplay, I think it's looking really well, and I'm excited to show you what I've got. So let's jump into it.
Okay, so I've got my mic, so hopefully my audio quality just improved a lot, and we can go through where my project was sitting 6 months ago. Nope, that's way too far back. Okay, that's better. Here's what we've got. I was never really disappointed with what I had going here, but I did restart my entire project at one point. The character controller at this point had walk, sprint, a slide mechanic, although I am controlling both characters at once. We also had a dive that has since been pulled out, and the idea was to go up to a buy station just like you do in any MOBA game, and you can purchase your guns and equipment. I also had some basic shooting mechanics going and was just testing it out to see if it felt right and was fun to use. And you know what? It was pretty fun. All in all, I was pretty happy with what I had, and as much as it pained me to do it, I'm glad I restarted because it has improved a lot since. There wasn't much else to show at this stage, and I know you're probably thinking that there's 1,000 third-person shooter templates that you can just pull from the asset store, rig up in 10 minutes, and this project could have been done in no time at all. And you know what? You would be right. The problem is how generic that would feel to me. I want to control everything myself, from the animations in the animator to the way the bullets feel striking your opponent. If I keep creative control of everything, I can steer my game into a unique and enjoyable direction. Plus, when it comes time to include a unique or interesting gameplay mechanic, I'm not going to be stuck with my finger in my bum and the other one trawling through endless documentation of a system I have no understanding of. So, we've got to this point. We're happy with how everything feels, now let's chuck it in the bin. So, I've thrown my original project in the bin and I've restarted, and I've got to this point. And you know what? It doesn't look too much different. However, things behind the scenes have changed dramatically. For one, we're not using root motion anymore. I discovered trying to network a root motion character was an absolute nightmare. So it's more of a traditional setup where the animation plays independently of the movement. All we're doing is matching the animations with the direction. This is a pretty common approach even for AAA games, so it's not going to worry me if the animations don't match the movement and there is a little bit of sliding around. So in restarting the project, I of course had to rig up the guns again, and I think it feels a lot smoother this time. Overall, the animations are working a lot better and looking a lot more natural. This is about the point I got my last game to, so everything from here is kind of uncharted territories, so it's going to be a work in progress moving forward. I'm much happier with how it looks at this point than the previous versions you just saw. Although there is so much left to do, it is moving in a better direction than it previously was. And while it's not perfect, there is the beginning of an FPS system. It's pretty rough around the edges, and like the rest of the project, there will be plenty more work to do, just an insight into more about how the game will play. At this point, everything's in place to be improved upon. So what else have I been doing? Well, you can see in some of the previous clips that the bullets don't actually appear to be coming out exactly where the gun is. And that's due to the latency from the server that I've set up to this client. I'm not going to bore you with the theory of how the server client is going to work in the future, but it will be introducing client prediction, and that will make sure that the bullet appears to be shooting exactly where you intended to go. Okay, skip forward to today. Where does the project sit? What you're looking at here is a bare bones attempt at creating an NPC system to travel the world and engage in fighting with the other team. And before you switch off, let me say this is as early in development as you can get, and yes, it looks terrible. Everything gets to a working point and then gets polished. Let's hope I can get this to a state that at least looks somewhat engaging to fight against in the future. And not just walking potatoes dumbfiring at each other. So where to from here? Let's start everything from scratch. No, I'm kidding. Firstly, expect everything to change. This is not the map, these are not the graphics representing the direction I want to head in, and the animations need a lot of fine tuning. I want the graphics to look impressive. Whether that's achievable as a one-person development team, I'm not sure yet, but I'm willing to give it a go. I also want to get the AI working. I want to have waves of enemies marching towards the enemy base, and I want to create the push and pull of territory you find in all MOBAs. Lastly, I want to devlog more. It keeps me accountable and I enjoy seeing my own progress. Hopefully you'll be seeing more of me. Thanks everyone, see you later.